Hey guys, it's time for another video blog of the Superstars of Wrestling 1987 season. And this time around, well, it's the weekend of WrestleMania, and after WrestleMania is the focus here this week. Or not this week, but, this time around. Alright, so let's start off with the show the day before WrestleMania. This aired March 28th, 1987. And before they go to the first match, they do a very funny promo with Bobby Uecker, Andre the Giant, and Bobby Heenan, where, Bobby Heenan's telling Uecker to practice saying, Andre the Giant, the new World Heavyweight Champion. So Andre's standing over here, Bobby Heenan's standing over here. So Uecker's like, Andre the Giant, the new World Heavyweight Champion. And Andre's like, say it louder. Andre the Giant, the new World Heavyweight Champion. So, that was really funny. So then we go to the first match, the Can-Am Connection, Rick Martel and Tom Zink going up against Steve Lombardi and Johnny K9. And for those of you who don't know who Johnny K9 is, he's now a criminal in Canada and is in jail. That's all you need to know. But anyway, one of the developing I'm not trying to think of the right word here, trends, there we go, throughout this entire episode of Superstars is during each match, they have the other, other team or other person's opponent in WrestleMania do, like a little comment during the match. So, you have Martel and Zink and, Morocco and Orton are doing their thing, but Zink and Martel get the win. Then we go to an update which gives a brief look at the Steamboat Savage match for WrestleMania 3. And then we go to a match with the natural Butch Reed, as he's going to go up against Jim Powers. And a rare sight in this match, Jim Powers is wearing red trunks. Or not red trunks, white trunks. He usually wears red trunks, but here he's wearing white. But it really doesn't help him because Butch Reed gets the win. So after, a couple more promos and such, Hart Foundation come out. They have a match against the team of Joe Murto and Rick Hunter. Now you're going to hear Rick Hunter's name more than once on this video. That's your typical Hart Foundation match. Harts get the win, and, it's a non-title match, so. Now, during this episode, I do want to remind everyone that this one is in Dayton, Ohio. They showed footage of the previous week with Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik. That match never happened. And it's reviewed on the previous video, which you can watch after this, or if you feel like stopping this video now and going back to watch the other one, you can. Anyway, basically they show the highlights, and then they get comments from both men. Slick said that we would like to have a match next week. Nikolai Volkoff does not get involved in the match. You leave the 2x4 in the ring, or leave the 2x4 in the locker room. So Hacksaw Jim Duggan, replies and agrees to it. Next match, Jake the Snake Roberts going up against Moondog Spot, and this one is actually a bit of a competitive match. Moondog Spot does get a bit of offense in, but Jake Roberts gets the win. Now after that, we get the final Piper's Pit, and it's a very emotional Piper's Pit. The final Piper's Pit before WrestleMania 3. I mean, there would be tons more after this, but Roddy Piper sort of does a goodbye speech, so we have that. So after the WrestleMania 3 report, the last match is Harley Race against Jerry Allen, and Jerry Allen just gets beat real quick. That's all I can say. So that's the end of that episode. Now, the next episode, April the 4th. This is the Superstars episode after WrestleMania. So, you've had a whole week to digest WrestleMania 3, if you saw it. Or if you didn't see it, you're probably wondering, what happened. So, let's get to that episode. This is still in Dayton, Ohio. First match, Jim Duggan against the Iron Sheik. So we actually get the match. We actually get the match this time. The ending of the match comes when Jim Duggan is thrown to the outside, and then Nikolai Volkoff comes, takes Slick's cane, breaks it over the head of Jim Duggan. Jim Duggan is bleeding. Slick, Volkoff, Sheik attack on Duggan until a couple of other wrestlers come out and save Jim Duggan. Duggan wins the match by disqualification. Now, after the match, for some reason, Duggan goes into the crowd. Now, he's busted open, he's bloody, and he goes into the crowd, and he just climbs up to one of the railings, does his little pose, and the crowd's trying to run over and touch him, and then he leaves, and, it's the end of that. That really made no sense. So then we go to a special update where we are told that the Grand Wizard has sold Kamala and Sika to Mr. Fuji. So Mr. Fuji is now the new manager of Kamala and Sika, and also, Kim Shi is there as well. So then we see the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell go up against the team of Jimmy Jack Funk and Iron Mike Sharp. And there was a little bit of competition in this one, but Killer Bees ended up getting the win at the end. So after that, and a bunch of other stuff, we go to our next match. Nikolai Volkoff goes up against Rick Hunter. Yep, Rick Hunter again. Well, this match never happens, because Sheik and Volkoff attack Hunter before the match even begins. And then as Volkoff is singing the Russian national anthem, here comes Hacksaw Jim Duggan, bandaged up, 2x4 in his hands, and chases all three men away again. I'm telling you, this is starting to sound like a very good feud. Next match, Jake Roberts against the Raider. Yep, the Raider, that's right. A man in a gray mask and black tights. And I'll tell you what, the Raider, for most of this match, has complete control of it until the end. Jake the Snake goes to the outside, Raider chases him, Roberts comes back in the ring, catches him with a knee and then a DDT, and it's all over. Jake Roberts gets the win. Now the next match is Demolition going up against the team of CV Api and Brad Regans. This is a short match. Demolition gets the win. So after that, So after that, we get the full WrestleMania 3 report, where Mean Gene gives us the results of all the matches except Coco Beware against Butch Reed. There may have been somebody out there who wanted to know the result of Coco Beware and Butch Reed, and you didn't give it to him, you monster! You monster! Sorry. So after that, we begin the Ken Patera story. The Ken Patera story, yes. It shows all the accolades that Ken Patera had while as a collegiate athlete, and then into the amateurs, and then a little bit into WWF. So then we go to the final match, King Harley Race against Don Driggers, and it's Harley Race again getting the win. What do you expect? Now, hold on a minute. Fix my hair. Hey. Now, one thing about this, and this really ticked me off, because, this was the final match, and then after that, they do one more thing to hype up whatever the next event is going to be in the local town. Mean Gene says that, Demolition's going to face the Islanders, and he says that Demolition is now managed by Mr. Fuji. Oh, that ticked me off. Because Johnny V was managing, Luscious Johnny Valiant was managing Demolition, and then you tell us Mr. Fuji's now managing them? What the hell? What the hell? Alright, skip that. Let's get to the final one. The one on April 11th. This one was in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Thomas and Mack Center. Start off with Coco Beware. He goes up against Jimmy Jack Funk. And, Jimmy Jack Funk gets beat. Coco Beware wins the match. So then we get an update segment where they announce Mr. Fuji is the new manager of Demolition. Thanks for telling us. We knew that a week earlier. Thank you. So anyway, continuing on, the new Dream Team, Greg Valentine and Dino Bravo, first time as a tag team. They go up against the team of Tom Sharp and Nick Kiniski. And last name may be familiar because Nick is the son of Gene Kiniski. And really the whole point of this match is showing Dino Bravo in there, and Bravo does a really good job in this match. He really does. I was really impressed. So, new Dream Team gets the win. So then we go to the interviews for the upcoming events. And I don't talk about this ever, but I just wanted to point this out. Mean Gene Okerlund, in all 3 segments on this episode, is wearing sunglasses. Did he get wasted, before this, or... Come on, somebody's got to tell me. Alright, so... And then he's also talking to this woman and this guy on the set as well. It really makes no sense. But it's the 80s. What do you expect? It's the 80s, it's the WWF. It's fun. Alright, so next match, Honky Tonk Man against Jim Young. Now, Jimmy Hart comes out with a sign that says, ban the DDT. This is a storyline, basically, where Jimmy Hart and Honky Tonk Man want the DDT, Jake Roberts' finishing move, banned because they think it's a dangerous move. And so, Jimmy Hart has his little sign. So Honky Tonk Man gets the win with the shake, rattle, and roll. Now, after the match, they post the address to where you can mail, ban the DDT. You can mail in saying, I want the DDT banned, or I don't want the DDT banned. God, wasn't this great times before the internet? You could just mail in on a piece of paper saying, I want the DDT banned, or I don't want the DDT banned. Miss those times. Anyway, next match, the Rougeaus going up against the team of Terry Gibbs and Bill Howard. And Bill Howard's not the only Bill on this episode. And you know what? Rougeaus get the win, and it's a very good match. And I'm watching, the Rougeaus, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, how in the world did these guys not have a run as tag team champions? I mean, when they were heels, that would have been a fantastic time to have put the belts on them. That would have just been awesome. Who knows what would have happened if the Rougeaus had won the tag belts. Although I think it would have been great. So now, after that match, we get an interview from Miss Elizabeth saying how Randy Savage has not been the same since he lost the belt at WrestleMania III, saying he's going to win it back. And Elizabeth is worried. So then we go to an interview with the new champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and his wife, Bonnie. So Ricky Steamboat talks about winning the belt, and then his wife makes an announcement that they're expecting a little dragon. There's a dragon in the oven. That's right, the little dragon. Or Richie Steamboat, as he's now known today in the wrestling world. That's who they're talking about, boys and girls. So, we get that announcement. And then we get an interview with Randy Savage. So Craig DeGeorge has the mic. He's in the back near the exit. And Savage is like, I don't want to speak. No comment. So, he slams the door open. And then Craig DeGeorge is like, well, there you have it. there are some people who say that he will never regain the belt. And it's Savage is like, what did you say? How dare you? I'm going to regain that belt. Don't you? You have a lot of courage to say that. Don't you ever say that when I'm around. And it's so great because it's classic Savage just going crazy. It's fantastic. So then we go to part 2 of the Ken Patera story. And this time we see Mean Gene Okerlund in a chair. The background is dark. There's just a little spotlight over him. And he talks about how the influences of Bobby Heenan changed him from a good guy to a bad guy. And then it led to this. And Ken Patera's in his cell, and the door closes. So, basically, Bobby Heenan led Ken Patera to jail. That's what they're telling us. So the next match is Hercules against Billy Anderson. I told you, only one Billy in this episode. And there's a short promo by Billy Jack Haynes. That's the 3rd time I've mentioned the Bill. Anyway, shows the bandage from WrestleMania 3. Hercules gets the win with the full Nelson. So then we go to the final match, the Hart Foundation non-title match against S.D. Jones and, you guessed it, Rick Hunter! Rick Hunter! Woohoo! 3 weeks in a row we get a Rick Hunter match. Boy, he must have done something to get on 3 weeks in a row of superstars. So, Hart Foundation win again, and they pin Rick Hunter this time. So after the match, they're about to do a 3-on-1 on Rick Hunter, and here come the Bulldogs. And Davey Boy's got Matilda, goes into the ring. Matilda bites the megaphone of Jimmy Hart, and then they start chasing him, and Matilda almost gets Danny Davis in the ankle. And they go all the way to the back, and Jesse Ventura's like, that dog should have a muzzle on, blah, 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 blah. It's real funny, his commentary after that. But basically, that is the 3 episodes of Superstars from the day before WrestleMania and after WrestleMania. So next time around, when I do this review, whenever it is, more of the Ken Patera story, and probably more outfalls from WrestleMania 3. So, I hope you guys are enjoying this. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. And, I'll do this again sometime in the near future.